We are live. Get it,
Late
Rachel.
night.
Get cocktail. Oh, see, we need our cocktails.
There's
What
some
do you?
water.
What do you? I don't have anything.
Disappointing.
I need a cocktail. Oh my God. We'll have
That game
cocktails
was
next time.
cocktail worthy. That's how crazy it was.
Dude, it's crazy. And we did decide to go live. I know we may be catching people by surprise because we'll go live. We'll make this a video too, so blah, 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 blah. We'll catch it all up.
We couldn't sleep. We got to talk about it.
So we'd love to have you in the comments. And as long as you're interested, we'll chat about the game. But the terrific twosome, high five. Give me. There you go. Oh, that actually looked all right there. Your initial impressions about now, just to let everybody know, we did spend most of the game sitting next to each other, chatting, having fun, that whole thing. But because of my responsibilities with altitude, which is really cool, we got like everybody from the station on.
It's so fun.
The only way to sort of engineer that and host it, unfortunately, was I had to come home. There really, even though I can do it remotely, there just wasn't another reasonable way to do it. Hopefully we can figure that out later. So I did miss the entire second half. So why don't you just catch me up on the vibe from the second half, what I missed with you guys there?
Well, first of all, the fact that the third quarter felt like it took 2 years off of my life for just how long that was absolutely insane. And then the fourth quarter, of course, just like flew by. And it was just craziness from there on out. The roller coaster we were on for that game was insane. Also, Jameis Winston, the fact that he almost had 500 yards. He ended up with 497 and they still lost. I don't know if that tells you how good the Broncos defense is, because I thought relatively they had a bad game, but also I'm like, I just don't know. Like, I can't wrap my head around what exactly happened tonight, because I feel like it's, again, one of those games where I'm like, they actually didn't play all that well, and yet they walked away with a win. But it's Monday Night Football, so I'm like happy about it. Does anybody else feel that way? Like, are you mentally exhausted just like I am?
It was, I did feel they were going to win the whole time.
Good.
The only moment of doubt, and I'm dying to know what you thought when Sean Payton decided to go for at first it looked like he was going for a touchdown on fourth down with about 3 minutes to go. And he explained it. He said, I knew the play we were going to call.
Yep.
It was against a specific defense. The defense wasn't the right defense. So I went with the field goal. How are you guys feeling about it at the time?
I'm so happy they went with the field goal. I was really nervous that they were going to try and go for the touchdown. I'm like, you just need the points. Like, your defense isn't playing up to the standard we're kind of used to. So, I mean, they really missed Riley Moss, DMac. Like, they missed Riley Moss so bad.
Crazy.
I was on Colorado Sports Night over on KDVR after the game, and I was like, you missed Riley Moss way more than you missed Zach Allen last week missing. Like, it was a drastic change in how the defense performed without him out there. I mean, Levi Wallace just got absolutely manhandled. It was a tough day for him.
Yeah, it was. I don't know how else to put it. Who knew Riley Moss was like that valuable? And then the question is, look, well, why didn't you just put Jerry or Pat Surtain on Jerry Judy? And I don't know if we got really. Did we get a good answer to that, Rach?
We did not. I did not talk to Pat Surtain in the locker room. I was over with Courtland Sutton. So I wish that we can kind of be like, hey, was there a game plan? What was it? But we don't know. And unfortunately, we're not going to probably know. We're not going to be hearing from anybody for the Broncos until next Monday, because obviously of the bye week. But It is interesting. But when you're lacking in so many other areas, I can kind of understand why you're like, all right, like, let's put 2 guys on Jerry Judy, but it just never felt like you did that either. Like, the game plan for Jerry Judy, and it felt like the secondary overall, I didn't quite understand what it was, because it felt like it was constantly changing.
Okay, take me inside the locker room. Talk to me about what Coach Payton had to say and what you did when you were talking to some of the guys.
Well, first of all, Sean Payton was, again, I don't think very happy. He cut his press conference kind of short. Like,
it was short, yeah.
It was like 5 minutes long, and he said, okay, one more question. And then, of course, that question got asked, and he was like, all right, bye, everybody. So I'm like, I don't know if he had a plane to catch to go to Cabo or something. Like, he was getting out of town. Okay, if you were going on a bye week, where would you go?
Well, I'm a sicko, and I love skiing. So I would go And I got to think of now, because it's December, like where I would go on my bye week. So I would probably go, this sounds terrible, but I'd probably go up to Snowmass and Aspen, because it's one of the better overall sort of mountains. But I love Aspen, and if I had to ski at Ajax or Aspen Highlands, they just don't get the snow at Aspen Highlands like they do at Snowmass. I sound ridiculous. I sound like such a snob that I'd go there, but that's where I know that sounds crazy, because why am I not putting my toes in the sand and the warm water someplace, right? But I'm an addict when it comes to the mountains and skiing. So that's what I would do on my bye week, Rach. I know that sounds crazy. And I would stay in Colorado. How sick is that?
Yeah, but I also don't think those guys are allowed to ski or snowboard.
Well,
I think that they're very, very like.
Listen, where would I go? I'd probably just go down somewhere simple, Cabo, and just stay in one place and just, whatever, man. I'd probably
That's what I would do, right? I'd be on the first plane. I'd be going somewhere, and we asked a bunch of the guys in the locker room, and they were all like, well, I'm just going to go hang out with my family. Like, that's it. Like, relatively pretty low-key, chill, like, hang out compared to, right? I feel bad because I always bring this up, but, like, Russ last year did go to Cabo, and he was, like, hanging out on the beach with his fam, and the paparazzi was there. And so, not that I'm comparing the two, but it's interesting just to see these guys be like, no, I'm just going to go hang with my family and, like, chill. Like, for a while.
You've been around this team for several years. How would you compare this team to years past?
I think that this team's a lot closer. I mean, Bo Nix and all of the quarterbacks were on the field way past when I thought that they would be. I mean, it was kind of chilly. It was definitely nice that it was a 50-degree day, but it got chilly standing out there. Sure. They were all out there just hanging out with their wives and their girlfriends, just chilling, I guess, fiancés, because Zach Wilson's is now a fiancé, not a girlfriend. So they were just hanging out there. And I'm like, is that something
new, or has that been the way it's been for a little bit?
Zach Wilson and the fiance?
Yeah.
They think they got engaged before training camp this year.
Oh, well, okay. All right.
So it's been a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the other two are married. So it's like they were just hanging out. Like, they don't have to just stand on the field and hang out, but they like to. You see it in the locker room. The guys are all like joking with each other, interrupting the media members. We were talking to Courtland Sutton, and Jonathan Cooper walked out the door, and he was like, Court! And like screaming. Like, there's just an energy to this team that we have not seen. And of course, there's a different energy when you win, but you can just tell this team is really close. And it feels like we've been missing that for the past couple of years, despite hearing guys like Justin Simmons be like, yeah, we're all really close. Russell Wilson, we're all really close. Feels like this year it actually feels like that.
I saw they were setting off the fog machine, the party thing, whatever. Was there still smoke inside of the locker room, or does that clear out?
No smoke that I saw. It was really funny when it went off, though. Like, that was actually hysterical, but no smoke this time. The guys were ready to get out of there. I'm trying to think. Courtland Sutton, really random. And actually, I could see you being like this. He's a toe sock guy. Do you know what that is?
A toe sock? Like, it has individual compartments for each of. I'm not like that.
I could see you being like that. I could see you wearing those shoes.
I don't know, man. Like, oh, wait. Like, those type of shoes? Like, they're just slippers for your feet with those things.
I could see you doing that, but he was wearing like actual socks, and he made a joke because I pointed him out, and he was like, good feet health equal good health. And I was like, I can't complain with you. You're having a great season, my friend. He just made $1 million.
Talk to me. What was that? There was some sort of bonus he hit. What was that?
Yeah, so if you guys all remembered, he wanted to get the contract extension, didn't get that, but they did do some incentives in there, and everybody was like, okay, well, what are these incentives? We hadn't actually heard. Well, Mike Kliss even just tweeted out not too long ago that he's actually hit 2 of those incentives. So it was $500,000 for 500 yards on the season, and then an additional $500,000 for 750 yards on the season. So he's made an extra $1 million, but we want to see him get to that 1,000-yard season. That's wide receiver number 1 material. That's what I want to see from Courtland Sutton.
He had 6 catches for 102 yards tonight. 6 catches on 9 targets. For the season, he's got 846 yards. That, Rachel, seems like a slam dunk that he'll get to 1,000 yards. That doesn't seem all that far off.
I would totally agree with you, except for sometimes, especially early on in the season, it was like Courtland Sutton would have like 1 target in a game, and we were all like, what is going on? But he's Bo Nix's safety guy, and it's been very obvious for that.
Okay, what else? Talk to me about the other the other vibes in the locker room, what other people had to say about whatever was going on, how they were feeling about things.
Nick Bonito was all smiles. Also, do we need to be talking about him for Defensive Player of the Year?
Woo! I mean, he had a better game than Myles Garrett today. He's got, I think he got credit for 1 sack.
He got, 1.5, because Jonathan Cooper got the other half.
Okay, so
pick six, a sack and a half in a game on Monday Night Football.
Dude.
He now has 10.5 sacks on the season. Like, come on. What are we talking about here?
It's totally sick. And, no, he got, I'm looking at it right now, Rach. He got credit for a full sack. So that gives him 11 sacks on the season.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. So they gave him a full sack on that. So he's got 11 on the season. He had a tackle for loss, TFL, and a couple of passes. The pick six. He was on Jameis Winston the whole night. I mean, I'm going to guess most people out there, like in the country, the NFL world, probably have never even heard of Nick Bonito. So to find out what his numbers are and what he's doing is, listen, let's face it, Rachel, this Broncos team after tonight on a huge game on Monday Night Football, right? This is going to open a lot of people's eyes to the Broncos. I bet even though it's the Browns and their record ain't that great, look what the Broncos did tonight. And in all fairness, look at what Jameis Winston did too. But we were talking about it all night, how great he would be and then how he would screw up. And it was just like, well, he's not going to. Then he threw the 3rd interception to Cody Barton. Like, I think the Broncos are going to win the game anyways at that point because they're up 2 possessions. But you guys must have been laughing about that.
Oh, yeah. And I do, in case you're unfamiliar, for all of the new faces on here, hello, hi. I do behind the scenes sports office vlogs, essentially. So, I take you to the games with me and what it's actually like. Well, I was recording the moment, of course, that Cody Barton got that interception. And it was just like, oh, my God, this game is crazy. But it was like, whew, okay, we're okay, right? Because year after year, the past couple, it feels like they've always lost the big games. It was disappointing. You would think that they would win it, and then all of a sudden they would lose. And it's finally different this year. Like, they're winning these games. And I know everybody looks to the Ravens and the Chiefs game, and they were right there and they should have won those games. They should have, you're right. But technically, they were never supposed to. This game against the Browns, they were supposed to win the game, and they did. The game against the Colts, I'm really hopeful that they're going to win that game because they should. There's a lot riding on the line, but this Bronco team, I feel like we actually have a lot of faith in it right now.
What was the family scene like afterwards? What was going on out there? They always have a pretty big crew.
Oh, yeah, all the time. So obviously the game ended a little bit later than I think most people were expecting. And even with media, they were getting out of there really quick. I didn't personally see it, but I heard that Jerry Judy went over to the Broncos locker room and said hi to some of the guys. Of course, Courtland Sutton talked about Jerry Judy and how he was really happy for him. And he was like, all I wanted was for him to pop off for any game except for this game tonight. And of course he did, but at the end of the day, all that matters is getting the W. I'm curious though, and I haven't seen it. I want to go back to see what Jerry Judy had to say in the locker room. I was in the Broncos locker room, not in the Browns. So I'm just curious what his reaction was to everything. But he got food a ton.
Yeah. We did have some clips of it earlier, and it was kind of just, you heard a lot of boos. And he goes, yep. You know what that means? What? A lot of catches. And that was kind of his tone. Then he said, somebody asked, would you give up all those yards and catches for your team to win? He was like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, fuck that. No, you wouldn't. I mean, I
heard when he walked off, everyone was booing, and he was doing the money signs.
Yeah.
So, he got his payday. Good for him.
You know what's funny, though? He is not, hated by his teammates or his ex-teammates. He is not. He didn't have a great he had an okay relationship with Russell Wilson, but not a great one. Where his locker was situated, he was right across from Jarrett Stidham. And there is kind of a Alabama, Auburn, thing, not enemies, but, sort of two birds of a feather there. He just had a lot more in common with Stidham, kind of more the same age, same crew. But he was pals with a lot of those guys. That wasn't the issue. The issue was he just wasn't getting the ball the way he wanted to because of Russell Wilson. And the disconnect was really with Russell Wilson, Jerry Judy, and frankly, Sean Payton and how that was going. And they just did not see him as a team guy and not one of their guys. And look who they got rid of. They got rid of Russell Wilson. They got rid of Justin Simmons. They got rid of Jerry Judy. Rachel, the only thing I can conclude is for whatever reason, they weren't their guys. What's interesting is Courtland Sutton was the closest guy to Russell Wilson, but they kept him around. That's for sure. And thank goodness they did, because he's having one hell of a season.
Well, and it's funny too, and I didn't get the opportunity to ask him about it, but I really wanted to. You know how those scrums can be. It can be just like you're trying all over to talk about anything and everything. But I really wanted to ask him about the chemistry this year compared to years past with quarterbacks, with Bo Nix, and why he thinks this year has been so different. Because it has been. It's been like night and day, and I'm just curious from his perspective what it is like. I did get to ask him because in case you didn't see and you're a Buffalo fan, well, then you saw the Travis Hunter Heisman shirts, and both Courtland Sutton and Pat Surtain were both wearing those shirts. Now, he wouldn't tell us how he got it, so my assumption is that they got sent them, which is fine. I feel like marketing, smart.
So wait, did somebody ask him about that, and he refused to answer it? Oh, okay.
Of course.
And he just flat out wouldn't talk about it?
No, he talked about it a ton, but somebody after followed it up with, like, did you get sent the shirts? And he was just kind of like, I got him somehow. And I'm like, okay.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead. I love the story. Go ahead.
No, you're totally fine. But he just talked about, how impressive it is what Travis Hunter is doing. And he said that he's actually close with some of the Sanders family. He's like, we're not like best buds, but we're close. And so it's been really fun to see what Travis Hunter is doing. And it's such an incredible level. And he said, every Saturday I'm checking the box score to see how many catches did he have? Did he have any interceptions? Like, what's going on with Travis Hunter? And he's like, yeah, it's really fun to be able to see what's happening up there in Boulder. So it was a really nice response, and it is cool to see them, representing a guy here, and that one day could possibly be playing against him. Actually, not one day. Next year, we'll probably be playing against some of these guys. So it's just really cool to see.
Well, what a great night, man. Just a great night, start to finish. And should we tell the story about how you got on channel Fox 31? And
yeah, we should. So fun. First of all, I love McMillan. I love all of the Fox 31 crew.
Aren't they great?
They're the best.
They are the best. I think listen, I love all of our TV friends. I know them all. I love them all.
Yep.
But the style that we have, to me, is the most similar to the way they do things.
Totally agree.
It feels like the same sort of vibe. So it's
laid back. It's talking about sports like that. This is what we all do, right? Like, it's fun.
Right. So I am on every Monday. I'm on with Mick and Aaron, basically. And it was Taylor there for a little bit before she left. We love Taylor. So that was me all year. I've been doing that since training camp every Monday. Mm-hmm. So it's great. But what do you do tonight? So Mick goes, hey, can you be on at 11? And I'm like, oh, that would be great. I mean, that's, wait around a little bit, but not too much. And, fine by me. Sounds great. Mm-hmm. And then some other responsibilities came up for the radio station. And it was like with a heavy heart. And I was just like, oh, man. So I really love being on with Mick, and it'd be pretty cool to be on the field. The last time I was on the field really doing a back and forth was with you. Back in the day when we used to do that before we on ceremony.
There is one vlog. I think it was the 49ers game that we did a post game, and I still have the clip. Yeah. And we are so random. Like, all of a sudden we were talking about something and some player walked behind us and we were both like, who is that? We were like, wait a second, who was that? And then we were trying to figure out who it was. And we were like, well, he's got a Louis Vuitton backpack. So which Bronco has a Louis Vuitton? Like, I will try and find the clip. It is so funny. I
love that. But I couldn't do it. So I sent Mick, I go, hey, I can't make it. And he go, oh, next time. And that's good. And we're all good. And, understood. And then I see you and you're like, hey, I'm going to be on Fox 31.
Literally, I'm driving down to Empower Field and I get a phone call and it says Mick Miller. And I was like, I wonder what he's calling me about. So I got to do it, which was so fun. Like I said, we both love that crew.
Well, I was saying to my wife too, I said, oh my God, I didn't know like Rachel was like the next one. If I couldn't, I should have figured that actually, but it didn't hit me. And if I knew that, I wouldn't have taken it in the first place, because you're just, listen, I need to be on TV. Like, I don't need to be on TV. The fact you can see me this much is kind of ridiculous. But, everybody knows how talented you are. And it's just a matter of time before that happens. But we got to keep our little thing going here. This has been too good, right?
I can't believe how many people are on here, and it's almost 12:30 a.m. Like, you guys are incredible. I'm so glad that you guys are loving these. Okay, we do have to talk about this though, just because I saw a comment. 7,000 no-shows. At the beginning of that game, there was hardly anybody in the upper stands, it felt like. And I said, what is going on here? Like, this is a big game. Monday Night Football, this is a big game.
I wonder if it was a little bit more than 7,000, actually.
They're bluffing?
I don't know, man. There were a lot of empty seats. But
how many of those club level seats are people that just are like, it's chilly outside, I'll go sit by the bar?
I don't know. Got me. You know what's funny? That stadium, it's its own like ecosystem city, and I don't know any of it. Because I don't know about you, but I literally walk the same way, go up the same elevator, go to the same. I just do everything the exact. I don't really. It's actually for us a little tricky to roam around the building. It's not like at Ball Arena where it's it's like a little playground in there. You can do whatever. But I don't really roam around. I don't go and I don't know the stadium. I really don't, Rach. I mean, I don't know if you do, but I don't.
Oh, I feel like I know Empower way more than I know Ball. Like, I could get lost at Ball Arena if I went the wrong way.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Well, I don't know. You'd have to be my tour guide then, because I couldn't tell you squad. I could tell you about, the areas we're in, but I just don't go. I haven't gone as a fan. You know what's crazy? Can I give you a crazy, quick little personal story?
Absolutely.
My lovely wife, Kim, Cat Cave, that's her nickname. It's a digital thing. She has not been to, in 26 years, she has not been to a regular season Broncos game. By her choice.
Wow.
By her she could go to any game she wanted to go to. I'd get her tickets, whatever. We've had free tickets. We've had opportunity. She's been to one preseason game. One.
Why?
Just, it's the nature of our relationship. When it's Broncos season, that's kind of what I go and do. And I think she has her own routine with the cats in the house and what she wants to do. So sometimes when we collide and we're watching a game together, it's like, hey, it's a little awkward. I'm not going to lie. Don't you and Anthony isn't that a little weird for you and Anthony do you ever watch a Broncos game with Anthony?
Yeah, we watch like away games, especially. The thing is he grew up in Kansas. So like by hometowns, like he's a Chiefs fan. I feel like he cheers for the Broncos, but he still gives me such a hard time, and his entire family does. So, but like, I don't know. I feel like we just watch the game. Like, he knows that I'm going to get a little bit more intense about it than he probably is. But like, that's also just the nature of our relationship. Like, I'm an intense person. I don't know.
All right. So the bye week is here. Where does it go from here, do you think, Rachel?
Do you think the bye week is just so weird? Like, it's so late in the season. It's
so weird. But get ready, because I think they're going to expand to 18 games and go to 2 bye weeks, and then President's Day weekend for the Super Bowl. I think that's what Goodell wants to do, and only 2 preseason games.
I'm actually okay with that, because I have been saying for years that they need to have the day after the Super Bowl be a holiday.
Yeah. I think they're going there. CU had 12 games, and they had 2 bye weeks this year. 2 for CU, which was weird. Do I think it's weird? I think it's super weird. Yeah. It's odd because next weekend, not only is there no Broncos game at all, the Avs and Nuggets are both on the road. Like, I don't know. What are you going to do? I have no.
Oh God, you and Kim are going to have some awkward moments watching all these games together.
Well, we better go skiing if I like skiing that much. We better go skiing, and we better do something up in the mountains if I'm true to my word. That's for sure.
There you go. Yeah, I think it's really weird, but I do think that the Broncos can win the next 4.
Oh, I don't know about that. Why? I think they can beat Indy.
I think they can beat Indy. I think that they can beat the Chargers. They have to play really good, but I like that game got flexed to Thursday night. I wasn't sure about it, but I feel better.
Yeah.
Then you have kind of an extended week to prepare for the Bengals, who are such an up and down team. And then I think that the Chiefs are going to be resting a lot of people. So like,
wow, a 12-win Broncos team?
Yep.
That would be bonkers.
If Riley Moss comes back. that needs to be the little.
Yeah, but you know what? Rach? Well, Anthony Richardson certainly isn't like Jameis Winston. Not even close. He's more of a running quarterback than a throwing quarterback. Winston doesn't really run. And Winston's obviously has a superb arm. He just makes some messed up decisions sometimes. But the guy can obviously throw a football. There's no doubt about it. Richardson's a pseudo rookie, and he's not like that.
Let me just say this. He's going to be coming up to altitude. He's going to get tired more, so he's going to bench himself.
Well, right. Who knows when he's going to tap out? So he's not like that. So, yeah, I'm not worried about them. Herbert's different, though, obviously. Burrow's different. Mahomes is different. So you've got so that is concerning if you gave up this like this to the Browns. You got Herbert, Burrow, Mahomes. That ain't good.
Okay, so then you're just telling me essentially that you think that you don't think the Broncos defense is as good as what we thought.
Well, it surprised me, Rach. I got this game. I kind of got it right. I kind of got it wrong. I thought Nick Bonito would have a huge impact. He did. I thought they would win by 10. They won by 9. However, I just didn't think there was any way you would, be able to. I thought they would have more pressure on Winston and he wouldn't be able to throw the ball. It was a historic night throwing the ball. It was unbelievable. It was one of the most damaging throwing the ball moments against any Broncos defense ever. And I thought they had that battened down. So it does make me nervous. And granted, they won the shootout because they got 2 pick sixes. So yeah, there's a little concern out here, but you know what, Rach? One more win is a winning season. First time since 2016.
Crazy.
And 2 more, you're definitely in the playoffs with 2 more. And you may be in the playoffs with just 1 more, depending on how the teams behind you do. So I'm feeling good about that.
Oh, I'm so happy. Although I'm sad. When are we going to do that? I mean, we'll do this on Wednesday, right?
Sure. I hope.
Wednesday, our cocktail hour.
Cocktail hour. Wednesdays at 6:30. That's perfect. There's no Avs. There's no Nuggets games.
Nope.
And we will definitely have cocktails. Some sort of cocktail. We'll have to have the cocktail of the night. We'll have to, not a big bottle of water. No, we need to be drinking.
Yeah, well, can you imagine if this was like beer or something?
Well, I don't know. Why not? Sucking the beers down at what time is it? 12:37. Oh my God. Crazy. All right. What's the rest of your week that you can share with us? Like, just share what you can share, but what's going on in your life?
My life is very slow right now, which actually isn't a bad thing. I'll take it. So tomorrow I'm going to spend editing the vlog from the Broncos. So that'll be going out on Wednesday, which will be nice. We'll get that done. I have a friend who, in case you did not know this about me, my recent hobby is cookie decorating. So I have a friend who's graduating from nursing school. So I decorate cookies and she asked me to do some. So I'm doing that.
That's awesome.
Decorating for Christmas. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just being a girl. Is that random? No.
Nah,
that's it.
Awesome.
That's my life. Watching the Avs and Nugs. That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's.
What about you?
And where are the? I've been. It's just. I don't know.
It's just a working man.
It's just insanity. It's good insanity. Where are the Rams going to go in their bowl? Is there any talk about it?
I haven't heard. It's a good question. Let's actually just see what the prediction is right now from like ESPN. I'm so happy they're going bowling. I'm so happy. I remember I went to the Las Vegas
Would you ever try? Oh, you did? You did?
I went to the I wonder, I might have.
The Las Vegas Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one to go to.
Yeah, they went there my freshman year and I don't remember if we flew or if we drove out there, but yeah, we went to it. It was so much fun. They lost. Shocker.
Was Allegiant Stadium built then or not?
No.
So where was the game?
Great question.
Was it at the UNLV campus?
Yes.
That would make sense.
Yeah, because the end zones were red.
Yeah. The Rebels. It's kind of a rundown campus too. Rundown stadium.
It is.
UNLV.
Yeah. We had a blast though. Like it was so much fun.
Yeah, that's good.
I haven't been to Vegas in a long time. I was going like once a year, twice a year for a while.
What's your go-to move? What's your go-to move in Vegas?
I don't know, because I would go for work.
Yeah, I've been there for a million different reasons. You know what's best? You go there with your partner, husband, wife, whatever.
Just hang out.
Because it's kind of a sure thing at the end of the night. You do, it's just like, so you can just go, you know what I'm saying? Just go out, you can have fun. And if you so
Are you
choose,
a gambler?
I do. I love, but I'm only one game, only blackjack. I only like blackjack. And unfortunately, even though I know all the rules and I know how to play, I can't count cards or anything like that. So, and I get bored. Just playing $5 hands, or something like that. And you can't really find $5 hands really on the strip anyways. So while I love blackjack and I could play it forever, I know I'm going to lose more than I'm going to win no matter what. It doesn't matter if I know all the rules and what to do. Mm-hmm. So what my move is I will play blackjack sporadically. I will gamble on a couple of games because that makes it fun and you have something to do for a couple hours. And I like going to shows. I do. I like going to shows. I like going to the musicals and the Cirque du Soleil stuff and the Blue Man groups. And I'm dying to go to the Sphere. And Rachel, I'll tell you this. The craziest thing in Vegas is it's like a matinee show. It's kind of in a mall sort of area on the strip, like it's inside one of the hotels. Mm-hmm. There's a guy who trains cats. He has a trained cat show. He does cats. Like he gets cats to jump through hoops and stuff. Cats.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think the good folks down at Ball Arena need to make him a halftime show then.
I've been to that cat show 4 times.
4?
It's only like a 50-minute show. It's like one of these shows. Like he does like 9 shows a day. I've been there 4 times. Yeah, 4 times.
Wow. Okay, I'll tell you my quick, not cat story, but my blackjack story real quick since we're on the topic of gambling. My 21st birthday, I got handed a $100 bill, which at 21, you were like, money. And I was like, okay, I'm going to gamble with it. It lasted me 4.5 minutes.
Well,
4.5. And I said, and this is no longer for me. Yep.
That was it.
4.5 minutes. And I said, I am not a gambler because I lost $100 in 4.5 minutes.
It can happen like that.
It did. Anyways, I was trying to find bowl predictions, but of course it's just all about CU, and I can't find any for CSU. So
don't worry about it. Give me your last thoughts on the Broncos. We'll call it a night.
I'm just happy they got a win in prime time in front of a big national audience. I'm glad it was a crazy game, so people were like intrigued by it. Mm-hmm. I'm happy they have a bye week. They need to get Riley Moss back if they want to make any sort of run for the playoffs to be real secure. Otherwise, happy for Nick Bonito. I'm really happy for him. I feel like he struggled in the first couple of seasons, and here he is now, and he's making a name for himself. So that's my final thoughts.
All right. We will talk to you Wednesday, Cocktail Hour with Rachel and DMac at 6:30 on Wednesdays. And
appreciate you all.
You never know what happens. But look how many people are watching and hanging out. It's great. So
I'm shocked. Everyone go to bed. I hope none of you have work in the morning besides DMac.
Bye. See you. Bye.